Today is a very exciting day for me. In the garden, I'm bringing mushrooms back. I'm super excited. I haven't planted mushrooms in probably 3-4 years. This year I'm doing wine cap and oyster. I'm gonna show you how to do wine cap, and I'm doing the oyster the same way. I've never grown oyster before, so I don't know if it works the exact same way. The instructions that were given to me seem super complicated for the oyster mushrooms, so I'm gonna treat them the same as wine caps. So I'll find out if that works or not. But I got these from Field and Forest. I've been buying from them before and it's worked out great. This is the wine cap sawdust spawn. This is 5 pounds of mushroom spawn. Before we get into the mushrooms, don't forget to check out our free Zoom class every Monday at 7 p.m. Register at Fathers Love, Fathers Heal. If you like this video, subscribe, smack that like button. One of the most important things for growing mushrooms is to pick a location that has some shade. You don't want your spawn to dry out. If you let it dry out, it won't survive. So I put cardboard down first just to give the mycelium somewhere to grow on. I've done this in the past and this has worked great. You can put it directly on wood chips or straw, but I just think this is a better medium to start off with. Number one, it keeps the weed pressure down. I put a layer of cardboard, wet it down, then put a layer of straw, wet it down, and then I put a layer of the substrate. Same thing, wet it down, and just do that until I'm out of substrate. Within probably a couple weeks, I'll see that substrate is growing, starting to eat the cardboard and the straw. And like I said, the most important thing is every day I'll have to check this to make sure that this is not drying out. It gets afternoon sun right over there. So when I get home from work, I will check this to make sure it's still moist. If it's still moist, I'm good to go. If it's not, I'll just water it down. Wine caps are really easy to grow. They will burn through straw quicker than wood chips. So if you have wood chips, that's a better medium. You could get a couple seasons out of wood chips, but straw, it'll eat through the straw within the first season. Let me show you how I put this together. All you have to do is sprinkle that substrate around the straw, and you don't want to use all of your substrate, but you want to get a good layer. And then I will wet it down and do another layer of straw, wet it down, one more layer of substrate, and then one more layer of straw, and make sure everything is nice and moist. It's as easy as that. And that's how easy it is to make a mushroom bed. So the main culprit of mushrooms once they pop are slugs. That is the main problem I had last time I grew mushrooms. The slugs pretty much ate them all. So what I'm going to do this time, I don't know if you've ever tried the beer trick, is you take a Solo cup, bury the Solo cup in the ground, fill it with some cheap beer, some Natty Ice or something, and the slugs will be attracted to the hops in the beer and they will drown. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the cups all around here once I feel like the mushrooms are going to pop. And that way I'll keep the slugs under control, because the slugs will decimate your mushroom harvest because they love mushrooms. So there's really not much to it. I'll come back here in a couple weeks and I'll pull this back, show you how the mushrooms spread under the ground. I'll have to check this every day. I'll just pull it back, stick my finger in here, make sure it's still moist, and that's all you have to do to maintain a garden bed. this doesn't get sun all day. So the rest of my garden gets sun all day long. So I'm gonna plant the mushroom. I'm going to plant the oyster bed, probably down here somewhere. That's all there is to it. If you've never tried a fresh mushroom, it's amazing. The first mushroom I tried was about 5 years ago. And all I did was cut the mushroom, saute it with some butter, some salt and pepper, and it's hard to describe. It's a different taste. So I'll come back in a couple weeks and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is about 4 weeks later, and this is the wine cap bed, and this is all the spawn starting to spread out. You see all that white little mycelium? That's it all, it's spreading out. So now it's starting to take over, and it's going to eat through the straw pretty quickly. So I will have wine caps in the fall once the weather breaks. But yeah, it's starting to spread out and take over. And I have 2 layers of the spawn here. Everything is nice and moist. And let me go over to the oyster bed. And same thing. It's starting to spread out everywhere. Yep, all that white spiderweb looking stuff. That is the spawn starting to eat the straw. So I'm hoping I get the oyster mushroom before the wine cap, but I don't know. We'll see. I know the wine cap will be fall, but according to the book, oyster mushrooms is about 4 weeks, and it's a summer crop, so I should hopefully get some oysters in the summer. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you don't have mushrooms in your garden, give it a shot. I think you'll like it. I'll see you at the next one.